After more than 40 years of wandering the world, I've learned that it's never the flashy travel gear that makes or breaks a trip. It's the simple, undervalued things that keep you sane when everything goes sideways. So today I'm sharing 12 of those not so glamorous, but brilliant essentials that have saved my trips more times than I can count. And number 11 finally stopped those sleepless nights that I would have when I traveled. Let's go. Hello and welcome. If you are new here, I'm Christy, the Gen X Gypsy, and my mission with this channel is very simple. It's to help you chase those travel dreams that you have with way more confidence and zero stress. And one of the things that has become clearer and clearer over the years is that it's not the fancy toiletry containers or the $300 theft-proof travel purse that's going to save your trip. It's often the little boring items that usually cost less than $10 that are going to keep you safe, rested, and on your feet so that you can enjoy your vacation. First up, we have luggage handle tags. In the past, I had multiple traditional luggage tags ripped right off of my suitcases when they were being loaded or unloaded. And if you've ever stood at baggage claim praying that your bag actually shows up, you know that losing your tag means losing your ID information, which can make getting your bag back a total nightmare. That's why I was so happy to find these luggage handle tags a few years ago. They're not only secure since they wrap tightly around the handle instead of dangling off the side, but they also protect your personal information. The ID card is tucked safely inside so no one can casually see your name, phone number, or address while your bag is rolling down the conveyor belt. And as a bonus, they come in tons of bright colors and patterns, which makes it super easy to spot them when your suitcase is in that endless sea of black bags. They are inexpensive, they stay put, and I will never travel without them again. And I have now bought them for everyone in my family too. Next up are two little charging lifesavers from Anker, who I am partnering with for today's video. And I am genuinely thrilled because I've been a fan of their products for years. Let's start with the Anker Nano Power Bank. If you have ever been halfway through a travel day using your phone for boarding passes, directions, photos, and suddenly see that dreaded 10% battery warning, you know the panic. This tiny power bank completely eliminates that stress. It's MagSafe compatible, so it just snaps right onto the back of my phone with no cords, no fumbling, and still lets me keep using it while it's charging. It is ultra slim, fits easily in my pocket, and has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which basically means it holds enough power to fully recharge my phone once. It's so slim and sleek, it feels like it's just part of the phone. But the second charger, which I think is a game changer, especially for hotel rooms, cruise cabins, or anywhere with really limited outlets, is the Anker Nano MagGo wireless charging station. It folds completely flat and fits right in the palm of your hand, so small. But it opens into a stand that can charge your phone, earbuds, and Apple Watch all at once. No more packing multiple cords or playing outlet Tetris at night, trying to charge everything before your next day's adventures. It fits easily into my small tech pouch, and honestly, having this setup has saved me from so many dead battery moments on travel days. So if you want a charging system that's compact, fast, and designed specifically for travelers, definitely check out the links below for both the Anker Nano Power Bank and the Anker 3-in-1 charging station. They're both from a brand that I trust completely and have been using for years, whether I'm flying overseas or just heading out on a quick weekend trip. Now let's move on to something way less techy, but just as important for saving a trip. Blister pads. If you've ever been on a walking heavy trip, think cobblestone streets in Europe or a day exploring in a big city, and felt that hot spot forming on your toes or heel, you know how fast one tiny blister can ruin an entire day or even week if you let it get too far. I used to just pack regular Band-Aids, but honestly, they don't hold up when you're walking miles in the heat or in the rain. Blister pads, on the other hand, are totally different. They act like a second skin, cushioning the sore spot, sealing out moisture, and actually helping that blister area heal faster. Plus, they stay put even through long travel days, hikes, or when you're wearing sneakers all day long. After getting multiple blisters on my first day in Tokyo a few years ago, these are always always in my everyday carry when I travel now. It's one of those boring little things that can literally save your trip. And once you start carrying them, you are never going to skip having them again. Let's move away now from feet to freshening up, because long travel days aren't exactly known for keeping us feeling or smelling our best. Deodorant wipes are one of those things I didn't even know existed until a few years ago, and now I always have them with me. They're basically individually wrapped cleansing wipes that also have a deodorant built in, so they clean and refresh at the same time. Perfect for those red-eye flights, long train rides, or days when you're out exploring from morning till night and can't get back to your hotel. What I love is that they're very discreet, they're TSA friendly, and take up basically no space. I keep one in my purse and another one in my personal item bag just in case. They're perfect for those travel days that start early and end late, especially if you are heading straight from the airport to dinner or sightseeing. They're not fancy or Instagram worthy, but they are absolutely something that's going to make you feel human again when you've been traveling for hours. And for those of us that have sensitive skin like myself, these have never ever made me break out or get rashy. Before we jump into the next one, I'd love to hear from y'all. What is your boring travel essential that always saves the day? Maybe it's something small, something practical, or something that you've been using for years, or maybe it's all three of those. Let us know in the comments below, because I love that our community shares things that we're always getting new information from each other. Moving back on to number 5, it's one of those things that when you first look at it, it might seem a little boring until you realize how much space they actually save in your toiletry bag. These are the Oil of Olay cleansing melts, and they were suggested by a few of you a couple of years ago, and now I am completely hooked. They're a solid, not liquid, which means they don't count towards your TSA liquids limit, and they take up so much less space than even a decanted container of face wash. Each one is a tiny little disc that activates with just a few drops of water. It lathers up into a full creamy cleanser that actually removes makeup, sunscreen, and all of the grime that you get from a long travel day. There's no bottles, no leaks, no mess, just your clean, fresh skin in about 30 seconds. I love them because they make packing so much easier. I just count out one for each day and then put them in a tiny little snack-sized Ziploc baggie. They save me from having to carry yet another travel-sized bottle that could leak halfway through my flight. It's such a simple little swap, but it keeps my toiletry kit lighter, cleaner, and way less stressful to pack. Not to mention, they aren't harsh or drying to my face. I love that they have a variety of options to choose from. Definitely one of those small, underrated things that make a big difference when you are traveling carry-on only. After using the Oil of Olay cleansing melts, this next one goes hand in hand, and it is the Wonder Cloth Makeup Remover. I discovered this a few years ago, and it has completely earned its spot in my toiletry bag. If you've ever stayed in an accommodation and used their white washcloths to take off your makeup, you know the aftermath. There's mascara streaks, foundation stains, and maybe leaves you with a little bit of guilt when you leave it behind. The Wonder Cloth has completely solved that problem. It's a soft, reusable cloth that you can use with your favorite cleanser. In my case, I use it with those Oil of Olay cleansing melts, and it rinses out almost completely clean afterwards. It also dries incredibly fast, which means I can use it at night to wash my face, hang it up, and by morning, it's ready for me to pack away again. No damp, mildewy washcloth sitting in a toiletry bag. And because it's so lightweight, it takes up next to no room, especially compared to a regular washcloth. It's one of those small items that I think just makes travel easier. And it's nice to know I can wash my face without ruining somebody else's washcloth or towel. Number 7 might sound like something you only need after a workout, but I promise electrolytes are one of the most underrated travel essentials out there. Between long flights, dry airplane air, time changes, and walking miles every day exploring new places, it is incredibly easy to get dehydrated without even realizing it. And dehydration can absolutely make traveling miserable, especially as we get older. It's what causes the headaches, the fatigue, the jet lag that hits harder than it should, and even those days where you just feel off. I started packing electrolyte packets a few years ago, and it has made a huge difference. I'll usually mix one up as soon as I get through security or after a long flight. It helps my body bounce back faster, keeps my energy levels up, and even helps me sleep better that first night in a new time zone. There are tons of options out there, Liquid IV, Element, Hydrant, but honestly, even the store brand ones work great. It's just one of those boring little habits that makes every trip smoother, and once you start bringing them, you probably never travel without them again either. Number 8 is something I've been traveling with for years now, a Packable backpack. It's easily one of my most used travel essentials. There are so many times when you're on a trip and you end up going on an excursion, maybe a boat ride or a hike, and you just don't want to take your purse with you. You need something lightweight that's going to hold your water bottle, sunscreen, camera, maybe a light jacket, and a few snacks without it feeling bulky or heavy. This little backpack is perfect for that. It packs down into its own little pouch that's smaller than your hand. So again, takes up almost no extra room in my suitcase or personal item. But when you open it up, it's a full-size, surprisingly very sturdy backpack. It's made from water-resistant nylon, has some padding in the straps, and is comfortable enough to wear all day, even when it's warm or you're doing a lot of walking. I've taken mine everywhere from Europe to Central America to Asia, and it has held up beautifully. It's also great for those travel days when you suddenly have more stuff than you started with and maybe need a little extra space. I've also used mine for grocery runs, day trips, even as an overflow carry-on when I've picked up too many souvenirs. Number 9 is one of those things that gives me a little extra peace of mind every time I travel, an RFID blocking wallet. With the uptick in stolen identities and credit card numbers being skimmed digitally, it's more important than ever to protect your information. What most people don't realize is that scammers can use a small handheld device to scan the radio frequency chips in your credit cards or even on some of your IDs, picking up your data without you ever noticing. The RFID stands for radio frequency identification, and these wallets are lined with a thin layer of metal that physically blocks those scanner signals from reaching your cards. It is such a simple technology, but it is incredibly effective. Since most of those scanners use a pretty weak signal, this thin layer is all it takes to keep your personal information safe. I've been using this Buffway wallet for years now and love it. The leather feels high quality and it holds what I need, just a few cards, my ID, and a little bit of cash. And they come in a rainbow of colors, which makes it easy to find one that fits your style. It's slim enough to fit into any crossbody or even into your pocket, but it gives me that extra level of confidence knowing I'm not an easy target for digital pickpockets. And while we're on the subject of safety, let's talk about one more simple but surprisingly powerful item, zipper clips. I'm talking about the little carabiner style clips that you attach to the zippers of your backpack or purse. When you're traveling, walking through crowded train stations, waiting in airports, or just hanging out in super popular touristy areas, one of the easiest places a thief can get into is an unsecured zipper. Someone can just slide it open, take something, and then walk away. Even just making your bag only slightly harder to get into will make you a less appealing target. These clips are such an easy and inexpensive way to turn a non-theft proof backpack, purse, or sling bag into a safe bag to carry around. They work on any bag that has a zipper with the holes in the little tabs, so if someone does try to get into your bag, because of the linked zippers, you'll probably notice like a little bit of tug or resistance, which will give you a second to react. It's just one of those little minor upgrades that cost very little, but will give you more peace of mind on the road. The next 2 items have honestly been life-changing for how well I sleep when I travel. And getting really good sleep when you are traveling isn't just about comfort, it affects everything. Your mood, your energy, even how well you handle time changes or full days of sightseeing. When I'm rested, I enjoy the trip so much more. So number 11 is this silk eye mask. Now, I used to think eye masks were kind of unnecessary and maybe, well, bougie and just what high maintenance gals used. But once I started using a really good eye mask, I realized how much of a difference it makes. When I'm staying at an accommodation that has thin curtains, obnoxious street lights, or More often, those annoying digital clocks, these masks block everything. The silk is soft and breathable, making it extra comfortable and gentle on your skin. It doesn't tug on your hair or leave creases on your face, because who needs more creases on our face at our age, right? And the second sleep improving item is my tiny noise machine. I used to rely on a phone app for my white noise, but randomly it would just cut off in the middle of the night, waking me up, and then I wouldn't be able to fall back asleep because, well, thank you, menopause. Also, many times the outlets are too far away from the bed, so it's not easy to have your phone beside you all night while it's charging. This tiny sound machine is rechargeable and has 15 different non-looping sounds to choose from. Personally, my favorite is the brown noise sound. You can also set a timer if you like, but I usually just have it play all night long. For me, using a sound machine has been a non-negotiable essential for getting a good night's sleep, and it's an absolute must when I am trying to sleep in a strange place and either want to drown out all of the new sounds, or sometimes I'm just trying to cover up the silence. It's so tiny, it fits right in this little pouch where I now keep all of my nighttime essentials, including the eye mask, hair scrunchie, and my lip balm. And if you are interested in other tiny travel essentials that can save your trip, check out one of these videos next. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video today. I hope that you have safe and wonderful travels.